All right, guys, getting ready to load stuff up so we can head out to our race today. And I'm just going to go ahead and stack the deck in my favor with a couple of excuses. First, I just got my second dose of COVID vaccine earlier this week, so I've been recovering from that. And according to my Garmin watch, my respiratory rate's been slightly elevated, and I've had a few more stressful moments over the past few days. So haven't got quite as good of recovery in my sleep. But yeah, so first excuse out of the way. Second, it's going to be cold, possibly rainy. I don't ride in the rain all that often, so I'm probably going to be taking it a bit easy in the corners, and this course does have some sharp corners. So rather than risk crashing in the corners, I'm going to be taking it a bit easier than I probably otherwise would on dry surfaces. All right. All right, we made it out. Ready to race?
Yes.
And it is still raining out, but we're gonna get set up and get some racing done. All right, guys, so thanks for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and talk you through a little bit about my race footage and how I thought it went. First things first is I forgot to start my GoPro until I hit about the first corner. So what you're seeing on the screen here was recorded by my wife, and that is not included in my GoPro footage. But we will switch over to that shortly, and I do have all of the gauges on there so you can see my power output, speed, and all of that. Alright, so first things first, when I went into this, as long as I didn't crash, I was going to be happy with the results. And this is a mixed Cat 4, Cat 5 group, so I really didn't know what to expect since this was my first race overall. But initially, first things first, you can see I'm just mashing the watts right here, trying to move up in the bunch because I was really at the back of the pack and that's not where I wanted to be. Another thing to note is from this perspective, the wind is coming from the right, so I wanted to be on the left to try to shelter myself from that wind as best as I could. Alright, so skipping ahead here, this is a really interesting point. You see, from this perspective, the wind is from the left, so I kind of wanted to scooch over to the right side, get sheltered a bit, and then next thing you know, we have, boom, crash right there. So this guy actually dropped off the edge of the road there because everybody was pushing over to the right hand side, and it was a bit of a drop off. Tried to come back onto the road, wheels got caught, fell over, ended up taking out a couple of people, and I was just inches away from hitting that guy. So I am super happy that I avoided that crash there and continued on. One thing you'll note here is my heart rate is super high, and I'm actually using a new Wahoo ticker that I had to replace my previous Wahoo ticker, and for some reason it is just sticking on the reading, so it's not moving up and down and reacting the way it should. So you'll see it kind of stuck here at 182, and I think it goes up even higher than that, which is normal for my heart rate when I'm putting a big effort in. But yeah, it sticks a whole lot. So moving on here, this is actually towards the last lap. So I actually got stuck in front where I did not want to be. There's actually a couple of guys up on ahead, and you can see them on the screen there, but they were the winning breakaway and stayed ahead. So I was out here on the front. I didn't want to be there, so I actually was kind of slowing down the pace a little bit, hoping the group caught up to me, which they did here. But moving around this corner here, basically dead on from where I'm looking is where the wind's coming from, so I wanted to try to get some shelter here, and I did. So that was good. You can still see I'm putting out, you know, a decent amount of watts here. And up here you'll see the final turn coming. And at this point I've expended quite a bit of my energy, and so I'm giving it everything I can to just kind of stay with the group. And at this point, this is really where the group starts picking up the pace, and as you can see, they're starting to come around me, and you know, my heart rate's banging off the limiter here. So I'm doing what I can to hold on. And you see that Velotech guy there just jumps out ahead and puts in a charge, which he holds pretty solid towards the end of the race here. Second to last corner here. And I'm going to try to go ahead and pick up the pace, stay with the group so I don't lose everybody. And I'm trying to jockey around so I can be on the right hand side there, so I can be sheltered from the wind. Come around this corner, see that big guy right to my left. I'm going to try to stay by him. Then I just start putting in the efforts because this whole group is ahead of me. I'm holding 600 watts here. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and give it a kick, and you can see bike starts going back and forth, and I hit up to 850. There's some peak around there at 900 watts. And right there at the end, you can see I did come around a couple people, so I was pretty happy about that sprint finish, even though my legs were pretty dead tired. So this guy right here is going slow is lap traffic, and then boom, came around there and get another angle because I had a couple of people out there recording video for me, so that worked out really well.
Let's go! Woo!
So this angle right here, you can see the start finish line. So that guy was the one that won, and this guy was lap traffic and came through, and right there, boom, I just pinched that guy right at the line. I was pretty happy about that because he was actually with a big name racing team out of Kansas City. So we are back, done with the racing. And let me tell you, it's a bit harder than what I expected it to be honest. So I put in a pretty good effort. Wasn't really at my max effort as far as average power. I averaged, I want to say, 220 watts over the 35 minutes. Max average for 20 minutes was around 230, and you can see some of those clips in the video beforehand where you can see some of those hard efforts. But what really took it out of me, and what I wasn't expecting, but I should have, being a crit race, is that the sharp efforts around almost every single corner just added up and really fatigued my legs. So I need to do some more of those short, sharp intervals to be prepped for it. The amount of times I was up over 800 watts was just pretty insane for such a short time frame. So they have not yet posted the results. I want to say I'm 6th to 8th place out of, I think, 22 overall. So, and this was a combined Cat 4, Cat 5 race, because the field limits were expanded as COVID restrictions were relaxed. So it was a tougher field than what I was expecting to race against, also much larger, but I had a good time. I'm definitely going to be doing it again. One added bonus is talk to a team out there, and they're certainly interested in having me on their team and think I'm going to be able to cat up pretty quick. But you know, I don't know that I'm just going to jump into the first team that approaches me about joining, so we'll see what the future holds. Anyway, if you like this content, make sure you go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe to see more like this. I don't know that I'm going to go as in-depth with daily vlogs like I've done over the past few days, documenting my prep for this race. But, you know, recap videos and things like that, certainly. And, of course, if you like what I've done here, look back through some of my other videos. I do a lot of product reviews, which I'll continue to do. And as the weather turns nicer, I have some wheels that I really want to get some comparisons on, and tires, of course. So keep an eye on the channel for that. And right now, I'm going to enjoy my nice celebratory beer and have a nice evening. Thanks for watching.